So now let us discuss question number 64, a conceptual question. However, this question could have been solved by two ways. One, if you know the concept, then obviously you could have solved this question. Second is by general observation also. Let us see. The question had two statements. Statement 1 said that the temperature contrast, which means the thermal contrast between the continents and the oceans, is greater during the summers than in winter. Now this statement is incorrect. The reason is the thermal contrast between the land and water is more during winters. Why so? The answer lies in the difference between the specific heat of land and water. We know that the specific heat of water is more than land, and this is statement 2 also. The specific heat of water is more than land. So obviously factually this statement is correct. But how does this explains that there is a greater thermal contrast during winters? Let us understand. Suppose this is an ocean body. It absorbs the solar insolation during the summers. Now, because the specific heat of water is more, which means that water will require higher amount of heat to raise the temperature by 1 degree Celsius compared to the land. And that is why the water heats up very slowly. Water cools down very slowly. On the contrary, land heats up very fast and it cools down very fast. Right? So, now during summers, the water bodies, that is oceans, they absorb a huge amount of solar insolation, right? So they warm up very slowly. But when we enter into winters, the land cools down very fast because it was having a lower specific heat. On the contrary, during winters, the water still absorbs the solar insolation which it had absorbed during the summers. So it will not release its heat very fast, and that is why it will still entrap that heat with itself, and hence the land will cool down very fast but the water will not, and that is why the thermal contrast will increase. So this was the concept. Now comes to the second way, that how could this question be solved from the general observation. Now you think yourself that during summers, what is the average temperature of oceans? It is somewhere around 25 degrees Celsius. Let us assume this figure. But what is the average temperature of, let's say, hottest continents? It will be somewhere around 50 to 55 degrees Celsius. Just the average values, right? What is the difference between them? Approximately 30 degrees Celsius, right? Now come to winters. During winters, the temperature of the oceans will be around 2 degrees Celsius in the higher latitudes. And similarly, in the higher latitudes, temperature of the land would be around minus 60 to minus 70 degrees Celsius. This temperature goes to such an extreme level, let's say in Siberian areas or in the Antarctica part. So now here, the difference is around 60 to 70 degrees Celsius. So during summers, the contrast was about 30 degrees Celsius. During winters, the contrast is about 60 to 70 degrees Celsius. So by this general observation also, you could have marked this incorrect. And hence, because the 1 is incorrect, 2 is correct. Therefore, the answer is option D. 1 is incorrect, 2 is correct. Right?